Hi, I'm Oscar Johnson, and I want to do an in the bag. I'm not a pro player, but I like to throw different discs, and I like to know what other people throw. I've recently downsized my bag to MVP disc and Discraft disc. I've thrown a lot of different brands, and these are the discs that are fly consistent for me and that I like to play with. I'll start with my putters. The MVP Ion is a new putter. MVP is a new brand, a new manufacturer of disc, and the Ion is a great putter for people that like playing windy conditions or like a low profile putter, something that's stable. I like to putt with a little bit of anhyzer and let the disc flatten out and sink into the basket. The Ion's great for that. It flies heavy than most putters. A lot of putters seem to float off for me, and the Ions don't do that. You really have to put some torque on the disc. I used to putt with the Flex Challenger, and I can't seem to get this out of my bag. It's a great approach shot. The Flex plastic allows it to stick. It doesn't slide off. It's also a stable putter. Allows me to throw an anhyzer shot, and it'll hold that line or get it up in the air and let it spike down. Good approach shot. My mid-ranges, the two MVP mid-ranges, are the Vector and the Axis. The Vector is a stable mid-range. It'll hold a line pretty well, and you can put pretty good torque on it. It will flip on you, but it comes back. It's great. You can put a lot of drive on this disc, and with this gyro technology, this rubber rim MVP makes, it carries really well. The Axis has the same rim, and they consider it an understable mid-range. It flies a little less stable than a Buzz, more like maybe a Pro D Buzz, but it has a lot of carry, and it flies a lot faster than a Buzz will. It's a good disc off the T-pad. The other mid-ranges, of course, are I've got two Buzzes. I recently picked up a Dirty Dozen Crystal Z Buzz from Dynamic Disc. I've thrown Z plastic buzzes and ESP buzzes and Pro D buzzes, and these are the two that I like. My ESP buzz is a little lighter. It'll hold an anhyzer line for a nice long anhyzer approach or short drive. My Buzz is great for anything 200, 250 off the T-pad. Flies straight, can hold some snap. It will hold an anhyzer line on a release. And I just love this plastic. Dynamic Disc carries a lot of different Discraft disc, and this Crystal Z plastic is great. The other two mid-ranges I like are more stable mid-ranges, especially for playing in the wind. The Hornet is a great disc. You can take this one off the T-pad and just throw it like a driver. It's great. It'll hold a line and fight a headwind, and it's nice for a hyzer shot. Most of my hyzer up shots I will shoot with the Flex drone. Once again, the Flex plastic is great for spiking down. This one will not get the distance that I can get with the Hornet. Not with my arm. I can't get the drone to get the same distance. But for up shots, tight corners, I'm a lefty, so anything that breaks right, anytime I've got to go around an obstacle to the right, the drone is my disc. My main drivers, coming to drivers, are the Nukes. I do have all three of the Nukes. I've got two of the regular Nukes. The Z plastic Nuke, this is the oldest disc in my bag that I still carry, and it's just a great driver. I've developed the arm to get it to flip up and flatten out and carry. This is my 300 plus driver, just long float and good distance. Recently got the Crystal Flex driver, and it's very similar disc. That's a great thing about Discraft. Both these will fly basically the same. It's just which grip you prefer, and I do like this one if maybe I'm going to put a little more hyzer on the disc. This plastic, once again, sticks. The OS Nuke is very overstable. I don't get the distance on it. I can really crush this disc even in a headwind and hold a straight line. It's not going to flip on me, and it will spike down. It's great for any, once again, right-handed holes, 250 or beyond that. Great disc to throw there. The SS, all the Nukes are rated at 13 speed disc, but the SS is super straight, and it will flip. But this is the fastest disc I have in my bag. This is the fastest disc I've ever thrown. I've thrown other similar low profile, understable fast speed drivers, but this disc is amazingly fast. I can release it on a hyzer, and it'll flip up and give a little bit of ante and flatten out, and by that point you're at 300 feet, 275, 300 feet for me. But it's a very fast driver, great tailwind driver. My next driver of choice is the Avenger. I have the SS and the Flex Avenger. The SS is great for anhyzer shots, any long anhyzer drives that I can't get my nuke to hold the line on. I know this disc will hold anhyzer line really well. I can really put some power on it and get a long distance ante. And the Flex Avenger is a little bit more stable than the nuke. It's a somewhat slower flyer than the nuke, but I can throw this disc in the headwind and know I'm going to get a straight line. And also, I like it in the Flex plastic as well. I had it in the Z plastic, but I like the Flex because I like to take this disc and throw a big hyzer line more so than I do the nuke. I seem to get a better hyzer shot out of this Avenger. And rounding out my drivers, my fairway driver, the Stalker. Unfortunately, I picked this disc up before Paige Pierce signed it, and I wish I would have waited a little bit. I didn't know they were going to have a signature disc, but you know, I look up to her, and I take my daughters and my son out to play. I know she says her dad took her out to play, and that's how she started. You know, I'm hoping my kids can learn. But the Stalker is a very straight fairway driver, much like a Buzz, but flies a little further. If I've got a headwind on a hole I normally drive with my Buzz, I'll pull my Stalker out and know it can handle a little bit more wind resistance and fly with the same flight that the Buzz would fly. But any tight windows you have to hit off a long drive, the Stalker is it. And finally, the ESP Cyclone. This is the heaviest disc in my bag. I throw mainly in the upper 60s, low 70s. This is a 75 Cyclone. This is another good headwind driver. It's a driver that I know I can pinpoint anything below 300. I know I can get good placement for me. It's going to hyzer back for me, and it's just a good disc to have. I know it's not a disc anyone carries anymore with a lot of the newer discs out there, but the Cyclone is a great disc for stability and accuracy. So that's my bag, and I hope to see what other people are throwing out on the course. Thanks.